at 149 pounds in Caleb Henson. We start, though, in the semifinals at 125. Eddie Ventresca, the top seed, 16-3 this year, taking on Nick Babin, the 4 seed. Babin so tough in that top position, he was able to plow his way to a 10-2 win earlier this morning. So Babin and Ventresca, and we are off and running alongside 4-time ACC champion Trent Hidley. Sean Kinney, great to have you with us from Durham.
Yeah, back in action here. Ventresca already in on a leg. He does such a good job at stopping scrambles. One of his best techniques. He's very low, and when he gets the legs, he's very efficient scoring. And you just saw that there early. He got to a leg, he timed Babin's roll, and he stopped it right away to get the takedown. Really hot start for Eddie Ventresca here in the semifinals.
Eddie Ventresca with the takedown early in this first period. 3-0 for the redshirt junior out of Roxbury, New Jersey. Forced into a red shirt last year following an injury, and we saw the emergence of Cooper Flynn in his absence. Well, this offseason, Flynn transferred to Minnesota, 125 occupied by Ventresca, who had that remarkable run at Nationals 2 years ago. The 27 seed went on an improbable run that saw him earn All-American honors and place 7th in the country.
Yeah, he's really finding that groove again from that 2023 All-American run. And one of the things I like about Ventresca, he's very confident, right? He knows where his best positions are, and he wrestles extremely confident. He doesn't wrestle out of his wheelhouse and put him in bad positions. He's got a very good stance. His stance discipline is very good. He rides really hard on top, as you see him starting to generate a lot of riding time. Here we see that first takedown. Notice how he gets his ankle off the mat and stops that roll. He times Babin's roll, gets his hips away, and eliminates the scramble opportunity for Babin, which he wanted to do. So big finish for Ventresca, back on top, riding hard. And this riding time is really important here because Babin is somebody that really wants to be on top and get riding time in his favor and look for turns. So if you start out with a lot of riding time, it takes away some of those options from Babin as you get into the second, third period.
Ventresca continuing to work on top. Babin into a stand-up position, and he is away. So point for Nick Babin, the transfer, his first year at Pitt, coming over to this program from Columbia. 3-1 deficit. Now Ventresca whips around to the side. Has to break through that whizzer. Babin tried to roll through it. Ventresca still no control yet. There's the 3, and he might be thinking more, Trent.
He's thinking back points here. He's got to get that. I want to see him get that Turk in, and then he lost the Turk. But just again, a really good finish by Ventresca. The same thing as the first takedown. He gets the leg. He knew Babin was going to roll. He was able to get his hips and drop him and get the easy takedown. Good job staying on top.
Working near the edge, Ventresca showing some of his strength. The quick and prompt mat return brings Babin back down as we go back to the 3.
Yeah, again, and he ended up in this position. He was almost able to hook that bottom leg and run a Turk, but Babin did a good job of fighting it off. Babin's very long. He's got long arms. He can use that for leverage, but really impressed with Ventresca's ability to get angles and score quickly in this match.
Talk to anybody outside the Virginia Tech wrestling room, it might have been a surprise Ventresca's run in 23. Well, make no mistake, it won't be a surprise in 25. A legitimate national championship contender in a wide open weight class across the country.
Yeah, here with 20 seconds, Ventresca really wants to finish this period on top. Don't give Babin an opportunity to get another point, and he can keep his foot in here and waste a little bit of time. See, the ref's going to be counting that 5-second stall. As soon as he gets to 4, he can take his feet out and get a fresh start, which he does. 9 seconds left on the restart.
9 seconds, first period. Already over 2 minutes of riding time by Ventresca. Takes a look over at his body of work up at the tower clock. Gets his thoughts together, methodically into position. Short time. Babin hits a roll. Ventresca was ready for that. And the clock never started. The scores table trying to get the attention of the officials. We never saw a second come off the clock as it's still showing 9. Some technical glitch, and smarter people than myself will go try to fix that across the way.
I'm glad I'm not in charge of the clock. I don't know if I'd have quick enough hands to get into it. I'd be paying attention to the wrestling too much.
You see Virginia Tech and Eddie Ventresca with his two coaches, the assistants, Jared Frere and Zach Tonelli. What a addition Tonelli has been. The first year he was introduced as the associate head coach back in April, spent the past 8 years in New York City as the head coach at Columbia. And we had a chance to talk to Ventresca earlier this year, and boy, he just kept bringing up Zach Tonelli's name in our conversation, especially the bottom position. We haven't seen it because Ventresca's been on top, but he says he's really improved underneath thanks to the addition of Tonelli.
Well, it's a huge addition, and what a valuable coach to have on your coaching staff. Someone that has head coaching experience to be put back in that assistant role. He understands the ins and outs of not just wrestling technique, but the business side of it as well. And I think you're seeing Virginia Tech really upping their levels in all parts of their program. And I do believe it's part of Tonelli's role in that program. It's really valuable for them.
Ventresca rides them out after they get the scoreboard fixed. It's a 6-1 lead. 2 minutes and 23 seconds, I believe, is what the riding time should be recalibrated to, and that's what they're working on right now over at the clock. Taking a look at the other semifinal over on Mat 2. Vincent Robinson, a 5-2 lead on Spencer Moore of North Carolina. Last time we saw Robinson, it was that nail biter with Ventresca on our final Friday night duel of the year in Blacksburg. And this is going to send both of our wrestlers into their respective corners. So this is a mechanical issue right now that they're dealing with. So Trent, take us inside the conversations now with both Pitt and Virginia Tech. This is tough for an athlete.
Yeah, it is, and it's different for both guys, right? Ventresca's had a ton of momentum in this first period. As an athlete that's wrestling with momentum, you don't want any stoppages, right? You want it to keep going. So is it frustrating? Yeah, possibly a little bit, but when you go back to your coaches, it's their job to kind of refocus you. Okay, hey, listen, yeah, that's a little bit of frustrating. You got some good momentum. Keep getting back to your feet. Keep getting those attacks. You're doing a good job on top and riding. And if you're Babin, sometimes this is a break that you need, right? Get a little bit of the coaches in your ear and say, hey, listen, you got to explode off bottom, or hey, you need to do this differently in neutral to avoid those takedowns. So it can be a beneficial break for both guys. But if you're Ventresca, keep that momentum. Get back to your leg attacks. Keep looking for your front head offense angles.
So they get the clock straightened out. Babin the escape, 6-2 here in this second period. Keep in mind, in this semifinal round, it is the first competition of the day for the top seeds in all 10 weight classes. Ventresca with that low center of gravity operating from those knees. See some finger fighting here with Babin and Ventresca. Babin circling around. Now he drops down to a knee.
Yeah, just really good head position by Ventresca. I've noted it a couple of times. You'll see him go down on a knee as well. That's really difficult for a guy like Babin to start getting offense going. When Ventresca's center of gravity is so low, and with him being as strong as he is, you're not going to be able to blow through that on a double. And, it opens up a lot of Ventresca's attacks. Like, he gets back in on this single. He feels that roll. Babin gets a bite of the leg this time. What Ventresca wants to do is get pressure onto his foot. He might be just looking for a stalemate here. Yeah, sometimes when your leg gets in that position, you don't want to risk it. You're getting bent up in your joints and everything. So Babin did another roll there. He was able to get a bite of his leg. And that's just where Babin likes to create some of that action defensively.
Babin, the grad student, transferred in from Columbia, trying to get back to nationals for the second time in his career. In fact, he's won some matches in the spotlight of the NCAAs a couple of years ago. Here is Ventresca late on a shot.
You see some of that funky defense by Babin. 20 seconds left here. We'll see if Ventresca can improve his position. It's a really good shot entry. Babin kind of an unorthodox scramble. 10 seconds left. Could be looking for a danger count if Ventresca exposes Babin's back. I don't think we're going to get into it. You know, what's interesting enough, we were just talking about Coach Tonelli. He would have been Babin's coach for, you know, upwards of, you know, 4 years or so. So if anybody knows what Nick Babin does, it's Coach Tonelli, which is a big benefit for Ventresca in a position like this.
Start on the feet here in this third period. 6-2, Ventresca with the 2 takedowns so far. Babin trying to find that right formula to crack the defense of Eddie Ventresca. Not too many have been able to do that this season.
Yeah, you see a little bit of the respect there for Babin's top game. Ventresca takes neutral. He's been really dominant on his feet. He's getting back into a shot. Needs to keep his shoulder below the butt here and drive and get weight into Babin's right knee. Take away the split, get the foot off the mat, and work for your finish. See Babin collecting shin whizzer and wrist there. Now he's got the foot off the mat. Now he can work here. Be ready for the dive roll. Try to get that foot elevated even higher. See him kind of run the pipe there and double off. That should be a takedown. He's collected both legs. As soon as he hooks that leg, it should be 3. Really smart wrestling by Ventresca. With someone like Babin that you know is going to dive roll, sometimes you have to be patient when you get that leg up in the air. You notice he pulled him back one way, called that running the pipe, and then when Babin defended that, he was able to double off and secure the takedown.
Commanding lead now for Eddie Ventresca.
Then we got ourselves in bonus territory here. If he rides out, get the extra bonus point, go to win 10-2. That's huge. If Babin gets an escape, Ventresca, I know, would be looking to get another takedown to secure bonus points.
Bonus points certainly one of those areas that could decipher today's team champion and what is anticipated on being very tight among the upper echelon. Babin gets the escape. Running time locked. Now a stall call on Babin as Ventresca shoots in again, captures that second leg for 3 more.
Yeah, really solid single leg technique. Oftentimes shoulder position is so huge. If you get into a single leg and your shoulder slips and they get that shin whizzer, there's a lot of pressure down. Every time Ventresca is getting a shot, he's putting himself in perfect finishing position. You'll notice it here. Notice where his shoulder is, pressuring in, doesn't allow Babin to improve his position defensively and gives him an easy finish.
Ventresca, the ACC runner-up. That year he placed 7th in the country, looking for his first ACC title, and just again plowing in, and he's thinking more than a major decision. He's wanting more points from his feet. Comes right back in on Babin.
Takedown, here's a tech fall if he gets it. 18-4 plus 1. They've awarded the points to the wrong. Ventresca, well, maybe he missed that out on 1 point. But wow, he really started to open it up there in the third period. Outside step, comes back, hard cut, finds himself back into that single. That's the offense that Eddie Ventresca has been looking for all season. Really, really impressive.
A win by major decision.